I want to describe my book, Stand By Me, but I thought, I want to just tell it like a fairy tale. It's not a fairy tale at all. I thought it might be kind of fun. So, once upon a time, there was a young boy. He's really rambunctious, just full of energy, and no one wanted to play with him because he was on a big estate, and all there were gardeners and servants, and people didn't care. The cook was slapping him around if he did anything wrong, and he was always running from her. And one day he got his mother to play with him, and she was pregnant. She had a headache, but she decided that this day she'd go out and play croquet with him. And she died. She had a headache that day, and it turned into a stroke, so she died. And this little boy ended up going to a private school because his dad sent him away, and that will be explained later. And he became a cold, bitter man. When he was 19, his dad married another woman, and that woman had a daughter who was 14, and he treated this girl very badly. She was a sweet, outgoing girl. Wasn't really pretty. She was kind of overweight and but she was a horseback rider. She was an athlete, and she grew up in Colorado with a very strong, loving family. And she wasn't used to these people in England who treated her like she was garbage. And she left, vowing never to return. But she did, because her mother one day had a baby, a little girl. By this time, the young woman is 18. She doesn't see the young man. She just spends time with her new sister. She's so happy. But she lives her life, and bad things happen to her. She has a lot of losses. She doesn't have the life she planned. Yet she still exceeds at sports and becomes a U.S. ski champion. She's a horsewoman. She helps run the resort that her family owns. And one day, she sees the young man again. And he is all she was worried he'd be. Harsh, critical, just snooty. And they are stuck together because the family is visiting. And she has decided to stay there for a couple of weeks. In those weeks, something begins to happen. She is very sure of herself. She's very loving, very competent, and kind of wild. She won't be the nice young lady that he would expect. Of course, he never expected it of her anyway, because she thought she was a curmudgeon. So, but she's a beautiful young woman now. And she's 6 feet tall and strong as a man, which kind of throws him, but he actually kind of likes it. You know? He's never met a woman who is strong. To him, all women are weak, which is kind of sad because all women are not weak, but he thought they were. And he meets a woman who is overpowered, and she overpowers him. But she overpowers him not with her brawn, although she probably could throw him through a wall. She overpowers him with her sweetness and her vulnerability and her honesty. And one day, he realizes he's found the woman of his dreams. And he realizes that he is too broken to be the person that she deserves. And he leaves. And she agrees. But they're miserable. Absolutely miserable. And then the family kind of gets an inkling because of the daughter who's now 9. Is like a little genius. And she is very insightful, and she sees what's going on with these two. And she starts telling the dads, her dad and the girl's dad, what's going on. Because they have fallen in love, and they're not together. And so the family starts to matchmake, and it becomes quite a story as they get back together or they get together. And that's the happily ever after story of my two characters in Stand By Me. There's got to be a wicked witch in there somewhere. Actually, there is, but I won't say who it is. A real witch. Ooh. Not the magical kind. The kind.